sort of UFC fight brewing, maybe. And then it seemed to be off with Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg kind of challenged each other on Twitter, I guess. And the big news yesterday or last night was that Elon's mom called it off.
Right. She said, stop encouraging it. His family, I think his dad even came out and said, we're actually all very worried about this. And his dad said it's a lose-lose for Elon because he said if Elon wins, then he looks like a bully because he's bigger and heavier. And if he loses, then it's total humiliation. So he was like, there's no way for him to win. But Elon even said that he has done some training because the big deal is everyone's saying Zuckerberg has the edge because he's been training in jiu-jitsu. He actually won some gold and silver medals at a jiu-jitsu contest in May. So people were like, he's got a really good shot. But Musk said that he has done taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, karate. He's trained in those things throughout his life. And he said he mainly just walks the treadmill and lifts weights. But he said, to be totally frank, I wouldn't exercise at all if I could. I prefer not to exercise. And he said, I have this great move that I call the walrus where I just lie on top of my opponent and do nothing.
That's funny.
So that is actually Elon Musk sumo wrestling.
Yeah. So he has
Did he really do that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was Photoshopped.
No, that's the real deal. So he did sumo wrestle. But his dad said this is a difficult situation as a result of high school behavior. And so both his mom and dad don't want him to fight.
Hush.
However.
Oh, what?
So it seemed like everything was being called off because May Musk said, no, it's not happening. I've canceled it.
Right.
But last night, UFC Hall of Famer Georges St. Pierre tweeted at Musk and said, I'm a big fan. I would love to train you for the fight. And Musk tweeted back last night saying, okay, let's do it.
Really?
So
it's not necessarily off.
Not necessarily off. And this was just this morning, so I was reading it really quickly before I came in here. There's another UFC fighter who I'm not familiar with, but he went on a podcast yesterday saying that Zuckerberg told him, yeah, we're going to fight at UFC 300. Now, that has since been debunked, apparently, but a lot of people are saying, no, I think that might be true.
I'm sorry.
Because that
Mark
gives them...
Zuckerberg doesn't seem like the guy to have a sense of humor and like joke around.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, they're saying that would give them each like a year to train.
When is this?
UFC, it would be sometime in 2024, like April of 2024, maybe. Okay. So it gives them quite a bit of time to train if they wanted to do it.
I'll tell you
this. So this could happen.
If they wind up fighting and it's on pay-per-view, I'm paying for that.
Who isn't?
I'm absolutely in.
And Dana White's banking on that because he said this could be a $1 billion fight.
Easily.
So,
Easily.
And the thing is, what's the most interesting to me out of this whole thing, the biggest controversy kind of has been Dana White, because so many people have really been frustrated with him because he has been railing against gimmicky fights and how they're just a quick money grab, and he thinks they aren't worth doing. And he said this one is not a gimmicky fight. So a lot of UFC purists are like, well, wait a second, this is as gimmick as it gets.
Hang on. I'm UFC. They make a ton of money off of these, like the 300 thing, right? I mean, you should separate this. This stands alone. This fight doesn't need to be a part of UFC 300. It needs to be UFC 300B,
Right. Its own. Well, it's kind of akin to those celebrity boxing matches or whatever that they used to have on where they'd take these
I've made money off of those
D-list celebrities and have them fight or whatever. But this is as A-list as it gets.
Yeah.
So Dana White said this isn't a gimmick fight.
Right.
Gimmick is MMA guys going to boxing and getting beat. We've seen it already and know how it ends. This is a fight between the two most powerful, richest guys in the world. Who will win? Who's seen this before? Nobody. So
that's good.
And he said when he talked to both of them on the phone, they were dead serious about fighting. So
I like it.
We'll see how
I do too.
Yeah.
So
thanks for giving us
all our hope is not squashed.
No, not at all.
Good.
And so I think that it could actually happen. It will be interesting to see who will train Zuckerberg. His former MMA coach said, hey, I feel like Elon's got a shot. Like, don't rule him out. So if they're both able to train, the thing is, Zuckerberg has been eating pretty clean. He only eats meat if he kills the animal himself. He eats a lot of fruits and vegetables.
Me too.
What do lizards eat typically? What's the average diet of a Lizard. Okay.
Okay, so we know who you're rooting for.
Oh, definitely rooting for Musk.
But Musk has always said, I mean, he's been on Wegovy, that Ozempic brand, to lose weight. And he said he's been trying to eat less tasty food. But he tweeted out a picture of his bedside table. It was like a bunch of Diet Cokes.
Oh, yeah.
And he eats a lot of Mars bars. So he's always said, I would rather eat tasty food and live a shorter life. So he's going to have to make further changes, I think, if he wants to compete.
If I'm a billionaire, I'm not. First of all, I'm eating food that tastes good. And second of all, I'm not risking bodily injury, which obviously is going to happen if they get into the ring in one form or another. I'm enjoying my cool billions and not doing this high-risk stuff. Ugh.
Yeah, but you got to think, I mean, just like we saw with the Titan submersible, like some of those people that have that kind of money, the average thrill doesn't do it for them. They need that sort of crazy excitement.
Yeah, you're right.
So
what am I thinking? It's every man's dream to get into a submarine with no windows, the size of a minivan, where you don't have any windows to see the Titanic. You're looking at them through TV monitors. I could do that at home on a bigger TV screen. I'm sorry, I ruined
but
your
you're
thing.
not,
16,000 feet under the water, though.
Right.
With the Titanic.
Yeah.
With strangers that I've never met in a darkened sub. Sell me more.
With the chance of immediate death. Because that's fun, isn't it?
You're not risking your life. Is it? I mean, why get up in the morning, right?
I mean, they do like that thrill, apparently, because a lot of them do it. What's his face? Branson does that all the time.